Now you guys are probably thinking, who the hell is this guy with a mask on the screen trying to speak to me about trading? Let me land. I'm a content creator and I'm a day trader as well. You guys might have seen my other social media platforms, mostly known on TikTok and Instagram. I'm a lot more active on there, so I suggest you guys check that out and drop a follow whilst you're there. Appreciate it. But nevertheless, alhamdulillah, I've been trading for a year now, and the last time I went on a losing streak was this time last year, which is a bit of a coincidence. Let me get to it. Now, of course, everyone takes losses. I'm not counting a losing streak as taking 2-3 losses back to back. I'm counting anything over 4-5 losses, like consecutively losing, like in a row, in a week. That's what I count. Now, before I tell you guys how to actually get out of a losing streak, I want to go over the last time I went into a losing streak. Now, the last time I went onto a losing streak was, like I said, this time last year, and I ended up losing 15 or 18 trades in a row, like not exaggerated, 15 to 18 stop losses back to back to back. And bear in mind, I just went on a winning streak and I passed my first ever funded account back then, and I was up on the account and I didn't request payout, and that's when I spiraled and I went on the losing streak. In comparison to this losing streak, I think I've only gone on 4-5 losses in a row, like consecutively hitting stop loss 4-5 times. If I can find them, I'll try to leave the screenshots on the screen for you guys in my Discord. All the losses are recorded there. If you guys want, feel free to join that. It's a free Discord link in bio. Now, the reason why I bring up my last losing streak in comparison to this one was to show you guys how last time I went on a losing streak, I lost 15 times in a row in the span of a month. Compared to this time, it was over 2 weeks. I've took 4-5 losses since December started. So yeah, literally 3 weeks. Now, in the same time, I've managed to take less losses. Why is that? Market experience. I've learned things from my old lessons. That doesn't make any sense. I was meant to say I've learned lessons from my old losses. In life, when they say it's not a loss if it's a lesson, I literally mean that. When you lose, if you can extract a lesson out of it and implement it, it will save you. Whether it comes to something like this, where it saves you a whole year later down the line. So what was the lesson that I learned? Let me get to that. Calm down. You're going to get some. Make a note. Get a notepad and pen. Yeah? I'll give you guys 3 seconds to do that. 1, 2, 3. First thing I need you guys to do is step back and reassess the situation. Is it your strategy? Is it you? Is it your psychology? Is it the market conditions? Whatever it may be, step back and figure it out before you figure it out the hard way. This was the mistake I made last year. I didn't step back. If anything, I put a foot in and I kept stepping forward. If you're getting punched in the face, you keep stepping into that punch, you're just going to get punched up even more. The same with the markets. If you're getting punched up by the markets, bro, step back. Get out of danger, I guess. Like I said, this was the mistake I made last year. I didn't step back. I just rushed in. I wanted to get my money back. I felt like I wanted revenge for what was mine. Does that make sense? Compared to this time, I understood that cool. Like, let me step back. Let me try to figure it out. Is it me? Is it the strategy? Is it the market? What is it? And this time I stepped back and I realized it was a bit of both. The one thing that I couldn't blame though was my strategy. Why? Because I wasn't letting my strategy play out, because some of the losses I actually had a role to play in it. If anything, majority of the losses I took on this losing streak, it was my fault. How it started was I followed my rules and I took a loss, so I took 2 losses. However, after that I started to low-key crash out because I was thinking like, yo, why is the market not paying me? That's when I took another 2 losses and I realized at this point, all right, what am I doing? This is getting out of hand. That's when I stepped back and I understood that, cool, I'm chasing these setups out now. Before, it started from me just following my strategy, taking the losses how it's meant to, and now it's me forcing out these losses, forcing out these trades, etc. So as soon as I realized it was me focused on the outcome and not the process of me actually trading like a profitable trader, that's when I took a step back and I took a break. This is what I'm saying to you guys. If you guys need to, take a break as well. Why? It gives you time for your mind to refresh. It gives you time for you to step back and understand that what is actually going on with you. And I'm not telling you to take a whole month off, take a year off or something. I'm just saying take a couple days, 5 days, a week. Me personally, that's how long I took off. I took a week off charts. I did not look at a single candle. And once I was mentally a lot more prepared to come back into the markets and I understood that, cool, I need to actually go back to focusing on the process, then I came back. A lot of you guys are so focused on the outcome. You're so focused on getting that funded account, passing that evaluation, getting that payout, securing that bag. If only you knew that you're there, you can get that payout, you can get that funded account, whatever you want, it's there, it's in your hand. If only you knew that you could get it. The only thing you have to do is stop them bad habits and get them out of the equation. But the problem is, as humans, we're so greedy, we're so short-term, like we just need short-term validation, we need short-term gratification. That's what I'm looking for. We chase instant gratification. That's why we will not wait, we will not be patient. And you have to train that out of your mind through taking a break, through going over your journal, through generally just practicing patience. Because every time you're so focused on the outcome and not the process, think of it like when you're in a fight and you're fighting like an opponent in like a boxing match or something. When you're fighting for a title belt, if your focus is on the title belt while you're fighting, you're going to get punched in the face and you're going to lose. But if your focus is on the actual process of punching the guy in front of you, I don't condone violence, but yeah, you're most likely going to come out of that fight on top. Why? Because you're actually focused on him and not the title belt and got punched up. So this is what I'm saying. When you're in the actual market, you want to look at the candles in front of you and you want to pay attention to them. You don't want to be paying attention to your funded account, how much you're floating, etc. The second thing I want to say to you guys is make sure that your strategy actually works. A lot of people, and I was a victim of this when I first started off trading, we tend to blame our psychology and we tend to say that it's, I don't know, we're over traders or something. Understand this. There's a difference between a strategy and an edge. An edge is something that's statistically proven to make you win more than you're going to lose, whereas a strategy is just an approach to the markets. Does that make sense? So if your strategy isn't backed by data and isn't forward tested and proven to actually be profitable, then bro, you've set yourself up for failure. You don't even know, deep down in your heart, you have no data, you do not even know if your strategy works. Of course, when it comes to these losses, you're going to have bad psychology. Why? Because you don't even know if your strategy works. You have no confidence in it. With me, alhamdulillah, I put in the hours and I've backtested my strategy for years of data. And I know what my strategy looks like. I'm expecting an average of 40 to 50% win rate and a minimum risk reward of a 1 to 3. I'm currently collecting more data on it to fix them statistics. But yeah, so when I go on these losses, I understand that cool, it's part of the journey. I've seen my equity curve on FX Replay when I'm backtesting. I understand that these little dips are calm, but overall, if my equity curve is making higher highs and higher lows, we're good. But like I said, a lot of people, they come into the markets, they backtest for a month, they forward test for 2 weeks, grab a funded account and wonder why they blew it. You'd rush the whole entire process. Think of it, banks pay, what do you call it, quantitative analysts, whatever they're called. Banks pay millions and billions of pounds to these quant analysts to figure out a way to get like a X amount of return every year. And you think that your 1 week of forward testing and 2 weeks of back testing is enough for you to become profitable, and get out of him, man. If you have a bad strategy, you've literally set your psychology up for failure. I don't blame you if you have bad psychology, bro. And that's why my psychology was so bad when I went on my first losing streak, because my strategy wasn't even working. Like, of course, I was due to take them losses. Third piece of advice I'd give you guys: follow your plan, follow your strategy, follow your edge. Trading is a game of probabilities. There's so many forces. I need you guys to understand this. There are so many forces acting on the market at one given time. Your strategy will never ever have a 100% win rate. You might go on a winning streak, no problem. You might hit 4 or 5 TPs in a row, no problem. But them losses are due to come. It's a game of probabilities. The probabilities are not always going to be in your favor. I'm in favor. The probabilities are not always going to be in your favor. And that's why you have to understand, like, cool, these losses are part of the game. All it means is, unfortunately for you, mate, the probabilities are just not in your favor. And you have to accept that. You have to be able to just understand that, cool, like, these losses are part of the journey, and soon a winner is due to come, and this winner will clear all of my losses. Don't chase that winner though. Let it come naturally. Follow your strategy. When your strategy tells you to get into the market, that's when you get in, not when your brain tells you. The 4th piece of advice I want to give you guys is keep your risk the same. A lot of people, they like de-risking when they're in a losing streak. For me personally, that is the most stupidest thing you can do. Why? Because it's like, if you're underwater and you're drowning, you're not going to all of a sudden start spazzing out, and you're not going to maybe start slowing down, whatever. You're not going to change the tempo. You're going to keep swimming how you're meant to swim. You're gonna understand that, cool, I'm just underwater for a bit, like, my head's gonna come, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird analogy. A better analogy would be that you're gonna come out on top, and when that winner comes, you want that winner to take off the burden off your shoulders of going on a losing streak, if that makes sense. A lot of people do like de-risking. They catch a winner, they hardly make anything because that winner made nothing, and they're still in so much drawdown because they didn't follow their plan, they didn't follow their risk management rules. They switched their strategy, they started risking less and now risking more, and it's all over the place. There's nothing consistent. You guys have to have a consistent approach to these markets to get consistency. You can't come in one day when you're feeling confident and putting your full risk on, and then the next day when you don't want to, you're scared that you might lose again, cut your risk. Obviously, for someone on a live account, that's different. People, they manage their risk differently on a live account. I'm talking about prop firms. But for me personally, I'm always risking 1%, and I will keep that 1% risk approach because I understand that over long periods of time, this 1% will carry me out of these losses. Because for me personally, I have a good risk reward in my eyes, at least. I don't know what's good in your eyes, but for me, a 1 to 3, a 1 to 4 is all I need. I'm happy with that. Now, linking back to this losing streak that I just came out of, I took 4 or 5 losses in a row, and one of these trades, which was a 1 to 5, after I partialed out and I hit full TP, I secured 4%. The trade is literally there in the background. But after I secured that win, that literally wiped out 90% of my losses that I've lost from the losing streak. Does that make sense? But let's say I came into the markets and I was scared today because I was gonna lose, and I didn't want to accept the loss, and I took that win. Let's say I risked 0.5%. I would have still been in 2-3% drawdown, and I'm still in a bad state of mind because I haven't cleared my losses, if that makes sense. I never think like that. I never think about clearing my losses and clearing my wins, etc. But I'm saying for a lot of you guys out there, that's how you might be thinking. If you want to de-risk and you've lost confidence in your strategy, which tells me that you haven't even got a strategy that works and a strategy that's backed by data, but let's just say for argument's sake, you're just a bit scared, you want to step back. You still want to trade, but you still want to just build your confidence in your trading ability, maybe. Then I'll do this paper trade. That's what I done. I'll tell you guys straight. I'm a year into this and I'm still paper trading. I jumped back on paper to build up my confidence. There's no point trading your actual account if you're not confident. Does that make sense? So go back to paper, practice building them good habits, etc. There's nothing wrong with trading on paper to build your confidence. Don't let anyone tell you that paper trading is bad. Like, bro, it's still practice. You're always a learner. You're always going to have to be open to learning in these markets. Now, the 5th and final piece of advice I'd give you guys is understand that the market does not owe you a penny. It doesn't care if you have 3.5 kids. It doesn't care if you got bills that you have to pay. It doesn't care if you're in debt. It doesn't care. So don't try to fight with the markets. All the market is doing is just presenting you information about where price is most likely gonna go next. And you as an observer just have to be there, be in your chair, sit there with your hands and make a decision and take a calculated risk. That's the only time you press that button when you want to enter the market. Once you've made your decision up, you've made your mind up with where you think price is going to go. The market is not against you. The market, it doesn't want to beat you. It's not out here to to make you go broke. You're your biggest enemy, understand that. So don't try fight with yourself, don't try fight with the markets, don't beat yourself up over your own mistakes. It's natural. We all make mistakes. I'm telling you guys now, I'm not as experienced as all the other traders out there, but I'll tell you guys now, even they make mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, they make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're human. We're not a bot. We're not a flipping robot. So when you make these mistakes, just take a step back and don't let these mistakes turn into multiple mistakes. Does that make sense? Don't let your losses spiral and don't let them add up and compound, because they will compound very quickly if you're not careful. That's all I got to say to you guys. Understand that, cool, whenever you take in these losses, this is just simply an opportunity for you to learn. It's simply an opportunity for you to figure out what you're doing good, what you're doing bad. And when you figure out what you're doing good and what you're doing bad, remove the bad and keep yourself positioned in a position where you're going to perform good. Does that make sense? For example, a defender, like he is a defender, he's not going to be at the top of the pitch, front line, trying to score a point. He's going to be at the back defending, right? He's going to position himself in a place where he plays the best in. Same with these markets. Don't position yourself at a random time during Asia or whatever, market close, just trying to force out a setup. You've set yourself up for failure. Position yourself to trade when the market is going to offer you a high quality opportunity. But anyways, I guess that's all I got to say to you guys. If you guys want more content like this, just leave a comment. Just comment the word plant or something. I don't know. I'm just curious to see how many of you guys have got here and how many of you guys want to see more content like this as well. Also check out my other social medias. It's been your boy 1FX. Take care, my people.